Hello, and welcome to a owners meeting of sorts, I suppose. We're going to take a look at this ball club, and first of all, housekeeping-wise, thank you to everyone on the SMB4 Discord for being willing to possibly help me deconstruct a little bit here, because we have struggled mightily. We're in Season 4, we're not in a great spot as an organization at the minute, and part of this is due to just the way that certain things are put together. We were walking through, they were helping me explain the chemistry, features of the game, and things like that, which, as funny as it's going to sound, the right-hand side of your screen, which you all see every time I boot up a screen like this, I have never paid attention to or been able to see because of my field of vision. And so we were walking through some of that, and I realized that this team is a disjointed, absolute mess. And the only good thing we have going for us for the most part is age. So we're going to take a look at everything. And here's what I'm going to say in terms of what I would like to do. We're going to bop to... I'm going to mess this up. Our chemistry here. And so we have a lot of... I'm going to try the... I don't know if this messes with anything, so I apologize. I'm using magnification. So in terms of our chemistry, the options for magnification are somewhat limited, so I'm moving my head over here. We got the orange and yellow, so that's, I believe, the spirited and the competitive traits. We have a fair amount of, and a few blues as well, which is that scholarly, or I don't remember. Only have one for the who the what's it, the purple, and 3 green. And the bonuses down here, so here's a question I do have. The faces, is that how many players you have that have traits of that? Because that's what would be my assumption after looking at the club, is, so 1, 2, we're going to look at spirited here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But then up here it says I have 9, so I'm assuming I have 9, maybe players with the traits, but only 8 players with the trait assigned to them. I'm not quite sure. I'm a little confused about that. However, if we kind of take a look, I mean, it looks like spirited is something I wouldn't be opposed to building around. However, specifically with this club right now, and I'm going to try not to bonk my mic on anything as we work our way down to our pitching staff, Lily, being the ace of this staff, she is still young enough at the age of, I believe she's 24, that I would like to build around her with the potential to develop some traits that make her a better pitcher. However, she is of the crafty, so green is crafty, that means, yeah, blue must be scholarly. So she is of the crafty persuasion, I suppose. And most of our pitchers that we have other green traits. So we have the elite 4-seamer present with the spirited Ella Vortex. A lot of our pitching just isn't designed for this until you get down to Cake Collector. And I apologize, there's a train literally going by my apartment right now. But for Olivia Field, who has struggled so intensely, she's spirited, and then we do have the Cake Collector, which she needs to use more effectively, to be frank. And then down here, who are you? Because you're set up pretty well. We're going to try this magnification thing one more time. So, Rally Stopper and Clutch, both being elements that Lorenzo Clark, he has done okay, so that's good. He is unfortunately not of the, he's crafty. So crafty I'm okay to keep. The scholarly I just don't see a good, I don't want to say need for, but we have consistent for Wanda McMackey, but that hasn't, done her much. Spirited, but then not a spirited trait for the elite slider, that being present for Isla Padilla. So I don't know where to go with this club. I don't know, like, obviously, I think we need to restructure in a few ways because we're just, when it comes to games, we're leaving runners on. We are not able to contribute to our own cause. And the games we're winning, I feel like, are almost flukes. And so I'm going to tab through the different tabs here because you will be able to take more from this information than I will. We have some decent stats around the place, but nothing earth-shattering. And that's certainly a problem when the goal is to win. So here we be. So hopefully that maybe gives some ideas to those of you who are more inclined on these sorts of things. Man, it's been a season, and not all of it's been bad. It's just been frustrating. And we've got some young players, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Dean Robinson's a young guy, first base, and but then here we go. He's scholarly, so it's like that doesn't do a lot for us. But he has the power versus lefty trait, which I'm a fan of. As you kind of go through some of these guys, it's such a mix, and I'm a little bit overwhelmed both visually as well as what's going on. So, and we're trying to underpay people where we can. That's a whole nother can of worms. I know Heel Mitchell. I don't know if there's. So here's a question for those of you who know about these things. Heel Mitchell, I've noticed at the plate, has been so patient. And I know he's got Ace Exterminator, so maybe that does something for pitching. But he's like more able to take walks despite not having I don't know. I don't think there's like a vision trait for walks specifically. But out of all my players, he's like the guy who I like to see come up in spots where he's got to grind out an AB because he can do it. Well, so I'm going to go through really quick. So Molly has been solidly decent, okay at catching, and she's got the fielding and the arm to occasionally throw out a stealer, which has occasionally come in a little bit handy. Sprinter, I don't use it. I never. She steals all the time per the CPU, and I'm sick of her getting caught. So she might be one that's on the table for me. Just being real. Isla Chapman came in this year as a catcher, and she's done okay. Nothing earth-shattering one way or the other. But is a year younger than Molly, so that's not necessarily a bad thing. Again, decent stats in terms of the fielding and the arm. She's got speed, which she doesn't necessarily use incredibly often. She's a slowpoke. I don't care. I'm not a stealer, and she is competitive, so I'm down to keep her around conceptually. Let me know if I'm obnoxiously out of line with any of these. Dean, being a younger guy, just has the wrong stuff, but he's got that power versus lefty, so that's, potentially a good thing for him. And other than that, stats, I mean, nothing to write home about necessarily other than semi-decent power form. And then we move below to Nick, who has had some big hits for us on a couple of occasions. And 25 years old, wouldn't mind seeing what he's got. But again, he's scholarly as well, and he has Ace Exterminator, which I haven't noticed much of what that specifically does. But, yep, so that's Nick. Layla has been solid on this team, I think, the whole time, which is kind of interesting. So she being 31 is getting up there, so might have to look at this as a spot to do some changes, and she is scholarly, but she's got the contact versus lefty. Does have whiffer, which that would explain the higher number of strikeouts. Dustin Schaffer, decent second baseman, nothing amazing, nothing horrible, but he's 20, so it's like, do you give him some wiggle room? I don't know, because he's crafty, and he's not, but he's got the first pitch slayer trait, which he hasn't used a whole lot. Might have to get him back into the starting lineup for one of these games just to see how he does. But yeah, nothing horrible there. 32 years old, so Ronan came in just this season. I think we were signing desperate replacements, and he has served third base tolerably well. Not someone I feel like I have to keep, but competitive is not a bad thing, and he has a cannon arm, which I don't know that we've seen utilized a whole lot, but so she goes. Sophia has struggled quite a bit. Decent shortstop. Um, Infield, outfield, secondary, which has helped a lot for having to fill in. She's 20 years old, so I do dig that. Um, Not amazing stats for Sophia, but her fielding's decent, so that's not inherently a bad thing. She is spirited, so I dig that. Unfortunately, a choker for Miss Coffee. Um, Blammo has just been our utility guy. I mean, he can fill in, I think, anywhere. Yeah, infield, outfield. It's 26. I probably will keep him as a utility almost no matter what else happens. I know he's got the wrong chemistry type. His contact versus lefty, which is fine as a bonus. So he will probably stay as a utility guy. Like I said, Heel Mitchell with this patience at the plate and just being able to grind out at bats has been kind of nice at times. Not a whole lot else to say about the man. He's got the wrong chemistry type and stuff like that. That ace exterminator trait, I haven't seen a lot, for that necessarily, but he's got good contact, and that's something we need more of on this club, if you can't tell. What else? What else and who else? We have Princess. Man, what an acquisition. We picked her up, and I'll probably keep her for a while. She's crafty, but man, power versus lefties and bad ball hitter, which she needs to do more of the bad ball hitting. So there's that. Decently loyal and worth probably a little bit, less than we're paying her, or more than we're paying her more than she's worth. That's what I meant. Canopy. Decent guy, getting old is what's going on with this boy. 42 years old. So he's probably going to have to go. And he is competitive, and he has the righty. What is this? Right? What? Hold on. What is this one? Oh, rally starter. Okay. And he also has. What is this one? Distractor. Okay. I think my guy Electrosports that I watch calls that trait the Mind Weevils. So I like that. Let's see, who else we got? Oops, sorry. Royal Thunderer right field. She'll do. She'll probably have to go, to be honest. Easy target. Oops, I'm going out of the thing that I want to go out of. We're going to go back to, where are we? Royal Thunderer. Decent. Also a potential utility. And she's also disciplined, easy target, and some other trait. I gotta zoom in again, sorry. She's also got cannon arm, so nothing bad there. I'm gonna come zoomed in, and you guys can find, it's just easier when we get to this bottom part of the screen for me to remain zoomed in as we look at the pitching staff. So Lily, like I said, for her, I would like to keep things as they are. She is not the right chemistry type, but also has no traits yet, so if I get the chance to develop a trait for her, I would like to, because she's a decent pitcher. Other than that, pitching, I'm willing to shake things up. I like that we have a lot of spirited pitchers, but we look at, who is over here? Ruby Farrell, who's due to start our next ball game, and she is a scholarly, so maybe that could change if we want to keep stacking spirited effects. And then who else down here? Especially bullpen wise, we can look at a couple people down here like oh boy, Lorenzo, who's pretty good, and Wanda McMackey, who's pretty good. So crafty isn't a bad thing, it just we don't have a lot, so I'm thinking some of the, I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking a lot of things, but you might have a better idea for what I should be thinking, and if you do, might be helpful to get some insight from you folks in the community. I will also do my best to put the playlist in some form of cohesive. I had it going for a while and something got messed up. I don't know what went wrong there, but that's kind of what we're looking at. Lineup-wise, I've been all over the place. This is what we're rolling with right now because I thought maybe it would be effective, and it almost was. We've got some people out of positions and stuff like that. Not much. Canopy's about the only one, but I like his power being where it is. But we could bop him for Blymo Battery out in the left, and he's got better contact. Not necessarily amazing at anything else, but what are you going to do? Actually, wouldn't mind putting Schaffer out there with good contact as well. But yeah, the lineup, I'm always kind of working on that a little bit. Let me know what you think and what you, don't be afraid to, be a little harsh if you need to. I don't know what I'm doing, and especially with the visuals, this screen is so exhausting. I'm looking at potentially this weekend, once I get paid, picking the game up on Steam just to see if by zooming in on my Mac, if I would potentially be able to figure out a way to get more into the management side of things and be able to do so with the vision that I have. I was hoping that the accessibility features that they started implementing in the last update would have helped maybe with managing things in this screen. But it hasn't happened, and I can't count on it, and that's, it is what it is. So here we go, and here's a bunch of team stats if you want to look at the fun stuff. Does this have... the radio station of this game kills me. Yeah, I mean, look at this. Like, in terms of how we are, let's see, pitching stats. So we'll look at pitching stats in just a second. Here's our current season, regular season stats, leaders in different things. How can you, career stats for different players, that sort of thing. Oh, up here, is it? Yeah, so here we go. Current season, regular season, that's, well, no, that's what I want, but I want to know what we're displaying stats of. Hold on. I don't use this screen because, again, it's just very visually overwhelming. So change team. No, I don't care about that. Team photo. Okay, so that's the tabs on the top. I don't know. You're looking at this much more than I am. So here's everybody's stuff from the season. Yep, very good. That exists. What else? What else? That's about it, really. Here's the cards for everybody. Kind of fun. And we'll end here on the photo, but hopefully this makes sense, and maybe this photo might look a little different if I can do some reconfiguring of everything. Again, it's rambly, it's a lot, I'm aware, but I don't really know what the easiest way is to lay all this out and what you guys as the community need to take a look at things. But appreciate everybody. Hopefully we can get this team looking a little better, get back on a winning track, at least to end this season. I would like, my goal, I suppose at this point, is to finish this season out, maybe making a few changes, make some big changes in the off season, and do one more season this way before I give up on this save. Because if I go over to the Steam version of the game, something like that, I'm probably going, well, I am going to have to restart and figure out a way to get that over to the TV for recording. I've tried to deal with all that once before, doing other games and things. It just didn't work. So we'll see. That's a whole other can of worms, because with the PlayStation, I plug in... I'm not talking to you, lady. See, she derailed my train of thought. But I have had struggles on the PS5 with even just the editing software that I use on the PlayStation has had issues. So, with that being said, we'll see how we're going, and let me know what you think. We'll evaluate, reevaluate, do what we got to do, and roll from there. But appreciate everyone taking the time to take a look at this and what we need to do better. And we'll see everybody soon, and maybe with some changes before even our next episode. We'll see. All right, take care. Peace.